So, good afternoon. Welcome back to Appalachia's Homestead. I made it up the driveway, y'all. Are you doing okay? Give me a hug. We survived the snowstorm. Woo! Hey, preparedness is everything. Everything is good. We are starting to thaw out. By the way, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today. We are starting to thaw out. In fact, this is the part you almost hate the most, is the melt. Because it's mud, wet mud, and more mud. So that is something that you have to deal with, and we're definitely there. But you can see, I've got some footage that everything is melting off. I'm going to have to go up here in the next hour or so and let out some of the water from our water rain catchments, because it's all that's coming off of the metal roof, which is great, right? But everything's overflowing. So we're going to have to go and let it flow, Tony Braxton. But anyway, so I welcome you back to the channel. We're doing good. All of the animals are doing good. My two babies that I did the Mel Gibson treatments to. Standard treatment. It's nothing weird. They are doing great so far. I am so excited. So remember, go back and listen to what I told you in the last video or so at the Mel Gibson podcast with Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan. You should listen. You really should. Good stuff. So listen, I'll leave it at that. If you know, you know. Okay, so here's the deal. I've got several things I want to update you on today. And yes, I'm going to sit in the car because I have been out in this weather for like 5 days. I'm a little over it. And last night I was running around going, okay, we're done. I need to be around May 20th, 78 degrees. Let's go. Sounds good. I'm ready. I'm done. I used to love winter. Love it. And then I kind of would get tired of it around Valentine's Day or something like that. No, I'm done. Done. I don't care. Late spring, bring me into May and into June. That's my favorite time of year. So I'm over it. Several things to update you on and a couple things I want to talk about. So let's get right to it. I have made I didn't make a phone call. I texted. I've been going back and forth. She's at work, so I didn't call. But I have been going back and forth with my cousin who lives and works in Newland. If you were giving to our, we had several different things that we did back before Christmas, back before Thanksgiving, for Helen victims. You can go back. I mean, that started literally the day after September 28th. Helen hit here on the 27th, and on the 28th, my family was boots on the ground the day after. And I'm so glad that we had that life experience, because it's life-changing, right? But many of you have been asking about an update. I talked with her today just to verify. I said, do you need anything? So you have the health center that she works for. We did the Santa drive, all of the buddy heaters, just everything. Listen to me right now. She said, we don't need any more of anything right now. We are still actually doing pretty good. Y'all loaded them up. Okay, here's the deal. If you live in, near, or around Newland in western North Carolina, even if you are in Tennessee, say Elizabethton, Roan Mountain, etc., if you are in need of specific things, I want you to contact the Newland facility of High Country Community Health, talk to them, see what they've got versus what you need, so we can keep you well and warm, okay? Because I asked her, I said, people are contacting me, people are asking. Folks are concerned that folks in North Carolina and Upper East Tennessee are not being taken care of, and I want to get an update. She said, I will continue to update you, but she said they're getting a ton of phone calls at the facility as well, because folks are very concerned about the folks in that area, in my area, etc., basically being thrown to the wolves, left in the cold due to Helen. We will get to that. But she said, we're doing okay right now. She said, but even we are getting called. I'm on the phone with people. They are very concerned. So first of all, let me say this to you right now. If you are concerned, good on you. Give me a hug. You're a good person, because there's a lot to be concerned about. Now, in addition to that, let me say this. I'm just going to jump into this real quick, and then I'll get to some other things. Nobody in their right mind, no matter who they are, where they are, how they politically affiliate themselves with, I don't care, with a post out here with my fence post. Nobody wants anything bad to happen to any Americans. It should be all Americans first. Let me repeat that. Americans first. All Americans first. Citizens, babies, mammals, veterans, however you want to put it. Black, white, yellow, brown, red, polka dotted purple with a little bit of green striping going on. I don't care. You matter first. You should be helped first. We pay enough taxes in this country that, folks, we shouldn't have people living on the streets. If they choose to and we can't do anything about it, that's a different story. But as far as funds and taxes, it's not the government's, it's yours and it's mine. If you live in California, it's gotten to a point where you almost go, I don't even know what to say to people other than these are the nightmares that we've all braced for. These are the nightmares that we try to prepare people for. These are the nightmares that you may not live in that area, but because you have been very well prepared and, low key, well prepared, debt free, you can help people a whole lot quicker than anyone else. Remember, all of the help that I have witnessed, my husband has witnessed, all of the things that we have seen with great effects in terms of helping anyone in our area due to Helen has come from private citizens. So I want to say that. So you folks that are out in California, my mind can't even wrap around the devastation. But I have an idea, and I really want to encourage people to, you've got all this back and forth, and this is what I'm concerned about. Let me explain something to you. At least let me give you my opinion. You can take it if you want. They're trying to further divide us, even through a disaster. Never let a crisis go to waste. Never, right? So I'm watching, and I think a lot of you are too, are watching a literal scenario where it's almost like you have 2 children, 3 children, 6 children, and they're all going through different phases of some type of crisis. And the first child got some peanuts. The second child got a bag of potato chips. The third child got when their crisis happened, they got a bag of pretzels, whatever. By the time you get to the 5th or 6th one, for some strange reason that no one can explain, they're promised prime rib. Now, again, this is not about a sibling hating a sibling, being a rivalry with a sibling. It should be, you look to the parent and you go, why are you doing that? You're pitting this against that. You're doing not for this, but for that. Why? That is what it feels like for a lot of folks in my region, and not just here. I'm getting contacted from folks all over the country about this. It's not the actual people in California that are victims of this historic fire, and I'm not going to call it a wildfire at all. They're victims too. And it's almost like watching people go into this primal fight mode. Be very aware of that. Okay? Because even when someone says, I know that I shouldn't receive help or receive more help than those people, or potentially this or that or the other, when they're in their crisis mode, they're not thinking necessarily straight, and the emotion and the trauma is so devastating that all they want is help. And I understand that, and I appreciate that. Folks, we got problems all over the country. We have lots of deals being made and lots of things going on. And I just want you to know that I don't know anybody, I don't know the first person, MAGA, non-MAGA, that is happy or joyous about what's going on in California. I think a lot of people sometimes don't know what to do to help. So let me give one little tidbit of advice on this. Take it if you want. If you're looking to help folks in a crisis situation such as what you're seeing, whether it was Helen, whether it was maybe Maui at the time, maybe even now, but especially in California, I would, by what I've seen, your best bet to help people is to try to find a private organization that you have vetted or a church. Be very wise in terms of who you're giving your money to. I'm not going to make the video about that. You've seen all kinds of things here in our region over the last 3 to 4 months, so that speaks for itself. But it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. I mean, are Californians going to be like, hey, I got $750 today, I feel good, if you even get that, because we know people that didn't. And so I'm going to leave it at that. But this division is being pushed. It's being orchestrated, in my opinion, being pushed deliberately. And the people that can't understand it or who are blinded are absolutely being led by the nose with it. No, we don't want anyone to suffer. You can be my greatest enemy today, and I'm going to tell you what, I don't want what's happened to the folks in our region, or what you see, what's happened in Maui, or the folks in LA or near LA. I don't want that for you. I don't. I with everything I've got, I don't want that for you. And anybody, regardless of who they are, that says off comments wishing that upon anybody or a region, folks, they better fall on their knees and repent on that. That's all I've got to say. Now, we can talk about politics. We can talk about the who, what, why, where, in terms of decisions that have been made. And why were these decisions made? Isn't it interesting that this decision was made like 30 days before this happened? How'd you know? We can go to infinity and beyond on those types of things. But remember, at the end of the day, the individual citizen that is being burned out or flooded out probably didn't have anything to do with that. Even if you don't agree with them, maybe they're ugly to you. Did they have any? So let's put ourselves back into the mode of helping everyone that we can, when and how we can. If we physically can't, if we can't donate money because for various reasons, then prayer is obviously, in my personal and most humble opinion, the most worthy thing that you can do, and do it often, every day, if you can. Okay, if you're sincere, God knows it. Okay, and all of these situations need tons of prayer. Now, in addition to that, I want to say something real quick. If you want to take the time to listen to another channel to get really good information, a lot of the things that are going on daily, especially right now in California, I want to welcome you and invite you to go listen to my friend Jeremiah Babe, his channel. He came out, he and Enrique and Texas Silver Aaron came out during the Helen aftermath. I took them, they were here for a day, okay? So they wanted to come help and check things out. It's almost like seeing is believing, and they couldn't believe it, of course. Nicest guys. Jeremiah, I think, is doing a great job on his channel. If you want no nonsense, there you go. And, we see people come and go in our lives. And I've seen a lot of things over the last 10 to 12 years, being on social media and being on Facebook, YouTube, all these things this long. And people have changed. Things have changed. And it's hard to find people that try to just stick on a narrow path. And so I want to, if you haven't checked out his channel, head on over there. I'll put a link down below. I thought his video yesterday was really, really good. And he mentioned coming out here. And James and I both smiled because we enjoyed their visit. I felt very safe that day with James. And I had a whole entourage of tough guys, and it was nice. Girls, alpha males are good. So check out his channel. Thank you, Jeremiah, for the shout out. Appreciate you and all that you're doing. And folks know a good one when they see it. That's why you've grown. So we appreciate you so much. So folks, here's the deal. So we're good. The puppies are good, growing like little weeds. We're coming out of this melt. It's going to be a couple of days because we get down below freezing at night. But here's the bottom line. So much is happening. I think people are nervous. People are excitable. And I think people are highly anticipating what could or could not happen, especially over the next week or so. I have no idea. You don't either. But I really want you to pray and to continue to prepare and try to be debt-free as possible. You've got to get in this mode, folks, if you're not already there. Getting the best physical shape that you can so you can handle stress, because look at all the stress that you're under again. I mean, we're not even basically into the second to third week of January of 25, and look what has just been plopped on top of your head. Because if you haven't figured out that you are not exempt, I don't know what to say. None of us are exempt from any potential of anything anymore. And somebody will say, well, why should I prepare? Why should I do this? Why should I do that? If my house is going to burn down, your house may not burn down. Your house may not be flooded out. I've said this many times. Your preparedness could make the difference for others, especially family, friends, etc. Because you were prepared. It means everything. A lot of pressure comes off of you when you know you are as close to debt-free as possible. You've got, a nice little pantry. You've got your home squared away. You've got, skills squared away. Folks, people are going into that primal mode. And I'll say this in closing. I've got that big turkey. We call him Tank, or we call him Dump Truck. He's just so big. And I said this loosely the other day on a video, and I was talking about how animals basically go into this fierce mode when they are being tested harder in terms of their survival instincts. This is a no-brainer. This is like Animal Planet, Animal Watch type thing. Well, when this cold weather hit, I started noticing in the snow, I started noticing that some of my toms started picking on my biggest turkey. He's such a love muffin. He doesn't fight back. He's so heavy. He's the one, because I told you he had a limp, and I told you sometimes he gets picked on. Well, in extreme weather situations, you really have to watch your animals, because you will notice that you may have to do bedding in different places. You have to separate more with feeding, because they want to eat more. They want to drink more. They want to compete more. Well, several of them have beaten him up. And I've had to pull him aside. He's okay, but he's in his own stall now. He's actually in with a goat. We put him in a separate stall, so all these other turkeys aren't getting to him. My oldest turkey 2, is with him, but he's a love muffin too. So they're in there together like brothers. But I can't help but think about what we said the other day. And I want you to think about all the things that you're watching in terms of looting, crime, lies, deception. Let your imagination go as far as you want, because when an area is hit with a crisis, you always have these miscellaneous dark characters that come out and do things. Okay, this is why your skill sets are important. This is why, quote, your head on a swivel, end quote, is important. Okay? And right now, I'm watching personalities, even on social media, be very aggressive. Because maybe they've been reminded that they don't know all the things that they know, or they thought they knew. Maybe they're being shown that they're not exempt. The truth hurts, doesn't it? The truth absolutely hurts. And when they get hurt like that, they lash out. They say mean things. They do mean things. Jealousy and competition really, truly, honestly, are one of the worst pitfalls for a human being, because it ultimately damages the person, but they try to take everything down around. They try to burn down everything around them too. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Be highly aware of these characteristics in people. I'm seeing things. I'm not talking about trolls and bots. No, I'm talking about real people. Being very defensive, very aggressive, and it's bizarre. But again, if you have been here on this channel for quite some time, it all boils down to this. You are in the biggest spiritual battle ever known to man, and it's going to continue to amp up, I'm sorry to tell you. I don't see it getting any better right now. There are things that I hope improve, especially after a week from today. But it all boils down to the video that I made in October of 2021. Go back, I posted it in my community page today. You're on your own. We're on our own. And when you realize that, you become a different person. You're not worried about being aggressive with somebody because their opinion is different. No, you're too busy working, trying to stay out of debt, get out of debt, build a pantry. It never ends. Your preparedness, my preparedness, our community together is the only answer next to our faith and trust in God. Believe it if you want, move on if you don't. Don't matter to me, I can't change it. But this is the way of the world right now, and I want you to be on high alert. Personalities right now, with the inauguration, with the fires, post-Helene, people needing help, the dangling of carrots, the competition amongst, quote, the children, end quote, from our lovely government. Isn't that cute? See, you're not exempt. I'm not exempt. We're just pawns in the game for them. And that's horrible to even say, but it is true. And the Bible warns us all about this, all kinds of things. So deep dive into that. Avoid the problems that you can. Focus on all the things that you know you should, and be very, very busy. I'm not convinced that 2025 is going to be really that good to us. There's a lot of infighting going on. And it has to, because you're in this spiritual battle. Pray hard, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. Thank you for being here. Be sure to check out Jeremiah's channel. We are very thankful for his friendship. I really have gotten to the point where I'm giving 0 to very few recommendations for other channels at this point. I'll be honest with you. I have been so disappointed with things that I don't talk about. I wish people well. I just try to stay in my lane. But there's things that I've witnessed over the past several years of things, of people, changes in people, men and women both. It's so bizarre. But these are the days that we've been warned about. So check out Jeremiah, and I always tell you, check out Pinball. Both of these channels, these guys and their family and friends, etc., have been very good so far. I always have a little disclaimer there, so far. I have full faith in that. And, if things ever change, then, I've done good with what I can at the moment. And I really think these are 2 channels you should check out. So thank you guys for being good to us. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. Long-winded today, trying to catch up with you. I'm praying for you. Guys, again, if you want to help with any of these disasters, please do your research. Please do your research, okay? And a private church or charitable donation in terms of the spot to give to typically are your best bets. Just do your research. I will see you guys on the next video.